Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Tracy here, back with another video. And today, I'm going to be reviewing, and going over the future candidates for the Jets' head coaching spot. Now, it's pretty clear that Todd Bowles is on his way out of New York after 5-11 campaigns, and this year doesn't look like we're even going to get to 5 wins. So that sparks the question: who is the next head coach of the New York Jets? Mike McCarthy has become a popular name, but I'm not sure about him. I think he hasn't had success in a while, which means that we might not want him as much as some other coaches that I have on this list. He's not even on my top 3 right now. So I'm going to be reviewing some guys like John Harbaugh, Mike Campbell, Matt Lafleur, people like that could possibly make this New York Jets team into a playoff contender. Those were my top 3. I'm going to be going over those guys one by one, starting with number 3, Mike Campbell. I like what he did as a college coach, and I think he could possibly be a good fit for us, especially because I I sort of like the offensive scheme that Iowa State had under Mike Campbell. I feel like he's a young coach and really an aggressive coach that could help this Jets team reach the next level. And offensive schemes, I really like his game. Defense is okay. We could work on that, but he's all in all pretty good. I think he's an offensive-minded head coach. I don't know about you guys, but from what I watched, Iowa, um, it looks like an offensive team. The defense really struggled the games that I watched of them. I've watched about, I want to say 30 Iowa games, and I have seen the defense struggle, but who knows? Maybe that's not a Mike Campbell thing. Maybe that's a defense cord or a roster thing. But yeah, at number 3, I have Mike Campbell as one of our replacements for Todd Bowles. At number 2, I have John Harbaugh. Took me a while to remember that name, my bad. I think that he's just a brilliant head coach. He's a great mind. Um, he has a history of being one of the best defensive coaches in the league and having sparks on offense, which is why I think he's a great head coach. And I think he could honestly do really well for this organization. The only reason I don't have him at number 1 is because I see the number 1 candidate, or Mike Lafleur, having a greater shot to win the Jets coaching job. But if we get John Harbaugh, I will be ecstatic. If anything, I think we should have Mike LaFleur as our offensive coordinator. My one problem with John Harbaugh is he has kind of a reputation for not making the best decisions during game. But, Todd Bowles makes worse decisions. And all in all, John Harbaugh wins games. He has 30 more wins than he does losses as a head coach. And he's won a Super Bowl. He's made the playoffs most of the years as head coach. He knows how to control a locker room, discipline players. He's great with the media or the press. And all in all, he's a very calm and greatly schemed head coach, and that's why I have him at number 2. And at number 1, Matt LaFleur. Let's just put it this way. Titans offense looks amazing this season. I don't know what it is, but looking at the Titans offense for me, it's just great. And I would love to have Matt LaFleur as head coach. I would like John Harbaugh better, but Matt LaFleur is actually a legitimate option who has said that he would be a head coach of the Jets coming next summer if given the opportunity. He's just a great scheme. I mean, this Titans team I projected to go 4-12. Now I think they might go 10-6 and come second in the division, make the wild card, might even win a playoff game. That's how good this Titans team is this year. And I don't think you guys see just how good the Titans offense has been, because really, who watches Titans games? Nobody watches Titans games. I actually have gone out this season and watched probably 5 Titans games live, and the offense has just looked great, especially in that overtime against the Eagles. The scheming is just great. He knows what to do with the ball. I'm not sure about defense, but we have defense. He'll probably just go along with what Todd Bowles did, and I like what Todd Bowles did on defense. And him being an offensive-minded head coach also is what led me to put him over John Harbaugh. But yeah, those are my 3 head coach candidates, and I want to talk a minute about Mike McCarthy and one sleeper candidate I have where I wouldn't be so mad if we had him as our offensive coordinator. Starting with Mike McCarthy, I just think he has not had success in recent years. I mean, he hasn't been able to develop a defense. He hasn't been able to drop players. He doesn't go out and make moves in free agency. He doesn't know how to manage money. He doesn't know how to go out and get the big players that we need. And he's not someone who's going to be along for a rebuilding. No, he's going to be one of those coaches that are along for the playoff contention, and that's where he shines. This Jets team needs a lot of developing, and I don't see Mike McCarthy helping us in that stance. I wouldn't be so mad if he was head coach, but I would be a little disappointed considering the fact that he just hasn't had recent success, and he doesn't know how to rebuild a team, let's face it. Last 2 years, the Packers have been terrible. I'm just going to put it that. And this year with Aaron Rodgers, that scares me because that just shows that the Packers now have to rebuild, and Rodgers might even go to another team. We don't know. I'm looking at the teams that need a quarterback. The Jaguars might even pick him up. I know it's a stretch. The Dolphins, the Buccaneers, the Patriots might even need a quarterback in a couple of years if Brady retires. And to see Mike McCarthy struggle that much with developing players, drafting defensive players, drafting good players, going out and signing players, and managing money just doesn't look like a good fit for the Jets, to be honest. We need a coach that's going to be willing to put in the time to rebuild, like Matt LaFleur, and John Harbaugh. I don't see Mike McCarthy being one of those coaches. And that's why I really don't want him as head coach. And one sleeper candidate is Ben McAdoo. Yes, a meme in his own right. He's not a good head coach. I think he could be a good offensive coordinator just because I watched a lot of Giants games just because the Jets were so bad at the end of the season. I started watching Giants games. I was still a Jets fan, but I was like, hey, let's just see how the Giants are doing. Ben McAdoo and that offense looked amazing, and so did that defense. Maybe he could be a head coach again. I'm not sure. He might not know the most about football, but let's face it, his schemes are amazing. He can't go out and get the right players for the team, and I can see that as an issue. But I see him as someone who can work with the players in this unit and bring them to their full potential, whether that's playoffs or 9-7. Really, Ben McAdoo is just a guy who's going to make this team better from within, and that's why I think he's a sleeper candidate. Don't think he should have been fired by the Giants. I think I'm one of the few people who think that's the dumbest move. I think Eli Manning deserved to be benched. He basically had a guaranteed job, so he felt no pressure. As soon as Geno Smith was thrust out there, Eli Manning starts playing okay again because he had pressure because he knew he didn't have just a cakewalk and immediately have that starting quarterback job. And that's what I like about Ben McAdoo. He can build from within and put pressure on players and teach them like no nonsense. But he can't manage the locker room. And that's going to be it. So Matt LaFleur, John Harbaugh, and Mike Campbell I really want John Harbaugh and Matt Lafleur. I don't know what it's about those two, but I think they can make this team a playoff team in a year. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Be sure to like, makes my day, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Gunga up.